Teenage Jewish diarist Anne Frank is known for her diary, Anne Frank, the Diary of a Young Girl. Her account of hiding from the Nazis in the occupied Netherlands during World War II. It became an international bestseller and made her an enduring symbol of the Holocaust victims. It is likely that she died of typhus in a Nazi concentration camp, but new evidence suggests that Anne died about a month earlier than previously thought, claims the Amsterdam Museum that honors her memory said Tuesday on the 70th anniversary of the officially recognized date of her death. Frank likely died aged 15 at Bergen-Belsen camp in February 1945. The new date of her death changes a little about the tragic lives of Anne and her sister Margot, who went into hiding with their family in Amsterdam Canal House, who were eventually betrayed, sent to Nazi concentration camps, and died in the Holocaust along with millions of other Jews. Erica Prins is a researcher at the Anne Frank Memorial House Museum. For the account of the Holocaust, she says, "It was horrible, it was terrible, and it still is." She also says that the new date lays to rest the idea that the sisters could have been rescued if they had lived just a little longer. When you say they died at the end of March, it gives you a feeling that they died just before liberation. So maybe they lived 2 weeks longer. Well, that's not true anymore. Allied forces liberated Nazis' Bergen-Belsen concentration camp on April 15, 1945. The earlier date of March 31st of Frank's death was said by Dutch authorities after the war, based on accounts suggesting that she and her sister died sometime in March. At the time, Dutch officials did not have the resources to establish an exact date. The new research studied existing eyewitness accounts, documents, and archives, and at least one new interview. Witness accounts said Frank and her sister already showed signs of typhus in early February. Researchers cite Dutch health authorities as saying most typhus deaths happen around 12 days after the first symptoms. In view of this, the date of their deaths is more likely to be sometime in February. The exact date is unknown, researchers say. In the words of one witness, Rachel von Amergon, who knew the Frank sisters and was cited by researchers, one day they simply weren't there anymore. I have to say that I can't personally claim that I know much about Anne Frank. I never read Diary of a Young Girl, and my knowledge of the Holocaust goes back to high school around 2004. What I can say, however, was that this time period was despicable. Rounding up people who are different from them and throwing them in camps where they work until they die and killing them anyway, there's just no words for how evil the Nazis were. I also have to add that this was not the only situation where it happened. Look at the Salem witch trials in colonial New England. If someone was different, they were claimed to be a witch and thrown into the ocean in a sack, or burned at a stake, or pushed off a cliff with a broom to prove their witchery, and when they died, well, oops. However, in my opinion, I think the Holocaust was worse. The Nazis dehumanized the Jews. Once in the camp, they weren't humans anymore. They were the number tattooed on their arm. This whole government system was wrong. I know that there are still others out there who don't share my view, but honestly, I will not say that they are wrong because everyone is entitled to their opinion. I am just saying how I feel about the situation, and if you disagree, I honestly bear you no animosity, it's just my opinion.